Hi guys, and welcome back to Spoony Life Lover. As you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be a bit of a deep one, but I just wanted to give everybody the chance to understand why I disappeared for a month if you don't follow my Instagram, and also understand if you don't watch my vlogs but you watch my normal videos if you do. Yeah, so over Christmas, I spent Christmas in hospital. If you don't know the backstory, there is a bit of a backstory to it that I'd suffered from horrific gallstones for about the last 6 to 7 months of last year. And the plan was to remove my gallbladder. So I went into hospital on the 5th of December to have my gallbladder removed, and the plan was to do it keyhole, and I'd be out the same day and everything would be absolutely hunky-dory. There'd be no problems. Unfortunately, it didn't work like that because I've had previous surgeries on my stomach. It kind of ended up being an open procedure. So I ended up being in hospital for 4 days over the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and was discharged on the Monday. I had a draining. I've got a 16-inch scar on my stomach now, and I had 24 staples in. It turned out to be a very major operation. Now that went absolutely fine. My recovery was pretty good. I recovered well from that, didn't have any problems. The drain came out really well. When I was actually discharged on the Monday, I felt quite okay, but I didn't feel 100%. Now I just thought that was because I needed to be at home, I needed to be in my own bed. You know what it's like if you've ever been in hospital, it's not the best place. The woman next door to me was really pissing me off. I just wanted to go home. So me being me, I should have, looking back on it, I should have probably said, I don't feel right. I think I need to stay in a couple more days, but I just went home. As it turned out, looking back on it now, it probably wouldn't have made any difference if I'd have stayed in a couple of days, because it was 10 days later when problems actually really started to occur. So I came home. I actually perked up once I was at home for a couple of days. The following Wednesday, I woke up in the morning, I had a shower, I got up, I felt amazing. I was like, yes, this is over now, I'm not in any more pain, you know, yes, I can do this. By the afternoon, I thought, oh God, maybe I've overdone it a bit today. Even though I hadn't left the house, I thought, I felt, you know, a bit rough, you know. So I spent the afternoon in here watching the TV, feeling very sick, feeling not the best at all, to be honest. So yeah, and from then on it just went downhill. I ended up up all night. I couldn't lay on my side. Now I'm a side sleeper and I found this very hard. I thought it was because of the staples, because I couldn't inflate my lung properly because it was all on my right side. I thought laying on my left side I couldn't breathe, so that's why I couldn't lay on my side, I thought. So I was having to sleep sitting up on my back when I could sleep. Started to get pains in my stomach. I thought it was because they tried keyhole the gas, it was going up into my shoulder. If you don't know, when they do keyhole, they inflate your abdomen with gas so they can see your organs. The pain got so bad by the Saturday night, early hours of Sunday morning. Now I have very little memory of this. I'm going on what my parents have told me, that at 5 AM in the morning I am screaming in the kitchen bent over the worktop with the pain. Now I suffer from chronic pain, have done for years, so for the pain to have been that bad and for me to make that fuss, it must have been pretty bad. So my mum called an ambulance. Now the ambulance took 2 hours to get to us. I'm bent over this bed with my dad rubbing my back, trying to console me. in total agony. The paramedics took 2 hours to get here. It was hell. It was hell for my mum and dad to watch me go through that. When the paramedics got here, they got me comfortable with some pain relief, and the pain actually subsided a little bit, and I was able to talk to them. Sorry about that, guys, the home phone went. So I was able to talk to the paramedics and tell them about this pain, but it wasn't on my right side, it was on my left side. My obs were okay, but they just said, look, you've had major surgery, you need to go back to Pembury. Because I had the surgery at Maidstone, but Pembury is our major receiving hospital, and they do emergency surgery. Like he said, God forbid you need further surgery. Little did he know what would happen. Little did I know. He said, you need to go to Pembury. So I was taken to Pembury, got to Pembury, the pain had completely gone. So I was like, right, okay, what's going on? There's something going on, but this doesn't make sense. So they took some blood, and I was moved to a room because I can't sit with everybody else with my immune system. And I was asked to do a urine sample. So I went to the toilet, I peed, and the pain just hit me. As soon as I just finished my pee, the pain was just like warm, like it just came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? So I managed to get myself back to the room, and I was begging them to help me. This is how bad this pain was, guys. I am begging them to help me. My mum and dad had gone to get a coffee. They'd been up all night with me. I'm on the phone to my mum saying, you need to come back now. You need to help me. So my mum's trying to find me. She can't find me. It's all really, really hazy at this point. They've put me on a trolley in the minor area. I'm in the minor area at the moment because I was fine. And I'm rolling the trolley with pain, like it is bad. They're trying to give me paracetamol. My mum's flipping her lid going, does she look like she needs paracetamol? Get her something stronger than paracetamol. So I'm taking my own my own Oxynorm, which at this point I'd already had loads of. So I'm like taking that, and they've then transferred me around to the major area because obviously I was in too much pain to keep me in the minor area. So gone round to the major area. Again, from here it is all really, really hazy. I've seen a really lovely, mum said she was really lovely, female doctor, and the whole time I'm just like, just please just help me. Like, this pain is so bad, you have to help me. So they're trying to get my pain under control, but because of my pain history, it's really difficult. So they're trying to get blood out of me, they're trying to put a cannula in, but because I've got really shit veins, it's not happening. It is all really like up there. So she then says, look, she was an A&E doctor, she was like, look, I'm just going to refer you to the surgeons, there's something going on, you need to see the surgeons. So about half an hour later, this other surgeon comes in. She says, you know, we don't know what's wrong, but there's something wrong because your bloods have come back and your red blood cell count is 89, so you're severely anemic, and your CRP, which indicates infection, is really raised. So there's something going on internally that we do not know about yet. So I'm like, oh, great. I'm thinking at this point, I've probably got a bit of an infection, you know, a couple of doses of IV antibiotics, I'll be as right as rain. Nope. So she says, I want to do a CT scan. So I'm still screaming in pain at this point. There's about an hour goes past. My mum's back and forth to the nurse, like, you need to help her, there's something seriously wrong. The surgeon, she sees the surgeon that I've seen down at the nursing station, and she says to my mum, I know, I think it's either a bile leak or a blood leak, she's bleeding internally. I am booking an urgent CT scan now. I am really trying. I'm going to give her some morphine and we're going to help her, okay? So please don't worry. So I've had morphine, I'm on a drip, I'm really not well. I'm bright, I've got a yellow tinge to me. I am literally off the planet. I don't know what's going on. I'm vomiting. I'm in such a state. So goes round to the CT scanner, goes in the CT scanner, and the radiographer helps me out of it. I've had my scan. I had to have the contrast that they put through to see everything. He comes out, he puts me back on the trolley and he says, I want you to stay here. Now, I'm like, right, okay. He said, I just need to speak to the doctor. I'm like, okay. My mum's like, what's wrong? He's like, I just need to see the doctor. So the surgeons come back and she's like, we're transferring you up to our surgical ward now. I'm panicking at this point and I'm like, look, just please tell me what's wrong. She's like, I can't tell you yet because I haven't got the official report back, but it's not looking good. And I'm like, don't tell me that. That's not helpful. So my heart is going. I am really unstable at this point. So I've been transferred up to the ward, got up to the ward. By this point, they've given me so much pain relief that it has started to take effect, and my pain has started to calm down. So I'm in and out of sleep. My parents are sitting there, so I get up to the ward and I've seen this surgeon comes in. My mum's gone to get my mum and dad another cup of coffee. So this surgeon comes in with the lady surgeon that I saw down in A&E. And he's like, you've got fluid in your abdomen. And I'm like, okay, is it a lot? He's like, well, yes, but we're going to watch and wait. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. So me thinking, it can't be that bad. If he's just thinking we're going to watch and wait, it can't be that bad. So we go through all the spiel. He tells me what's going to happen. We're going to watch and wait for 24 hours. Going to monitor you, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, mum and dad go. I send mum and dad home. They're exhausted. I'm exhausted. Just go home. By 5 p.m. that night, bearing in mind I've been in A&E since 5 a.m. that morning, the pain comes back and it is worse than it's ever been. Didn't think that was possible, but it was. So from 5 p.m. that night until the surgeons come back at it was about 8:45, I'm rolling the bed again. I've got this lovely, lovely nurse who is so worried that she's gone to the sister. The sister's come in, she's like, just fast bleep the surgeons because there's something really wrong with her, like she's not well. So the surgeons, these two male surgeons have come up, and one of the surgeons said, just took one look at me and he went, I'm going to look at your CT scan. Now by this point I'm a bit delirious and I'm like, no, don't leave me, you've just come up, where are you going? Like, you can't leave. He's like, look, he took my hand, he went, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just going to look at your scan and I will be back, I will be 5 minutes. So he's gone out the room, the nurse is still with me. He's come back in the room with a yellow form. Now to me, a yellow form only means one thing. It's a consent form. And I'm like, oh shit, what is going on? He's like, Chloe, you have got a belly full of fluid, you need to go back to theatre. And I was like, no, the surgeon told me earlier. He was like, I don't care what the other surgeon told you, you have got so much fluid, it is in your pelvis, it is everywhere, you need to be rushed back to theatre, we've got a slot, we're going now. At this point, I've got nurses taking my earrings out, taking my rings off. I've got people taking my clothes off, getting gowns on me. It is literally all go. All go. I've got people putting stockings on me. It is literally that go, because I was that unstable. So by 9:30, I'm being taken down to theatre. So I ended up back in theatre that night, having another general anaesthetic 10 days after the first one, and I had a belly full, it turned out to be bile. Now, but that's not a good sign if you've had gallbladder surgery, really, it's really not. They sucked out 5 litres of bile from my stomach. It was in my stomach, it was around my spleen, it was around my ovaries, around my uterus, it was everywhere, it was absolutely everywhere. I woke up, I had 2 drains on the right hand side, which were named Derek and Darren. And yeah, that was hard because I'd been only just open 10 days before and I was very sore. But I woke up, the relief when I woke up to not be in that pain anymore was immense. And I mean immense. It was so immense because I just didn't care, because I just wasn't in that pain. The pain of being sore from surgery I could handle because I'd already done that. I knew what to expect, but I was just so relieved that that pain had gone. I was like, oh, thank God. And of course they'd washed me out with a lot of saline and stuff, so I was very swollen. My face was puffed up, my hands were puffed up, everywhere was just, because I was so ill, it was all puffed up. And the surgeon came to see me and he said, if you'd have left that another 12 hours, you'd have been dead, because it would have just killed you. So I was very, 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 very lucky that my mum and I was being stubborn and going, no, I don't need an ambulance. My mum was like, yes, you bloody do need an ambulance. So I was very lucky that they did what they did. Then I ended, the second part of my treatment to stop the bile leak was to, because the drains were still draining bile, a lot of it, was to have what they call an ERCP, where they do an endoscopy and they put a very, very, very tiny little plastic stent into the bile duct to stop the bile from leaking. Now this procedure was absolutely awful. The surgeon said it was one of the hardest ones he'd ever done. I've got very, very tiny little bile ducts and it was supposed to take 20 to 30 minutes. It took 85 minutes of having a hose pipe rammed down your throat. It was horrific. And yeah, one of the complications of having an ERCP is that you can get pancreatitis. It's very rare, but I was told about it. Now I didn't think any more of it, thought, yeah, okay. Once I'd had the ERCP, I was very nervous about having the ERCP, and I thought, once I've done this, I'm home and dry. Like, I've just got to have this done, get through this, which was the biggest challenge for me, believe it or not. Then I can start to get better and I can go home, hopefully before Christmas. Nope, that night I ended up with pancreatitis. Really freaking bad pancreatitis. I was so ill that night that the poor doctor on call was up and down to my ward like a fiddler's elbow. The next day I was in as much pain as I was in with the bile leak. My mum and dad were called in. I was saying to my mum, don't bury me, cremate me. I thought I was going to die. It was really tough. The surgeons called the intensive care team down to come and see me, and they told my mum and dad that it would go either one of two ways. Either I would recover or I wouldn't, and I would be in intensive care. I was on morphine. I had a PCA, so I had a button I could press when I needed pain relief. That day I was catheterised because I couldn't get out of bed. I was given fluids, so many fluids that again I swelled up like a pufferfish, because the fluid, they were just trying to pump fluid through me to try and stop the inflammation. There isn't actually any treatment for pancreatitis, it is just management, but it is a very, very serious condition, and it needs managing very, very carefully. And the surgeon said to me, it is only because you are young that you didn't need to be transferred to ITU. If you were 5 to 10 years older, you would have been in intensive care. And there were times, like you said, there were 2 or 3 times where I was lucky that I missed intensive care. So after the pancreatitis, after 3 days of being in excruciating pain with the pancreatitis and being ill and sick and really unwell with that, things started to improve and my blood started to improve and I started to get up and mobilising. I had the catheter out, I had the fluids reduced, and I had my PCA taken down, and I was just on my usual pain regime. I was able to have a wander down to reception. I really started to pick up quite quickly. Had one of the drains taken out, had Darren taken out. I had to come home with Derek, and Derek was with me at home for 4 days, and then he was taken out. Unfortunately, I didn't make it home for Christmas. I was in until the 28th, but I did make it home for New Year, so we had our Christmas Day on New Year's Day. It still wasn't the same because unfortunately we hadn't had time to go and get many presents, we hadn't had time to get Christmas dinner, so this year we really didn't have a Christmas. But since I've come home, I have lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've lost, since my gallstones, I first got diagnosed, I have lost about 8 kilos. And I'm still losing weight even though my appetite is amazing. Like, I am eating like a horse at the moment. But I'm just losing weight, but that's good, it's fine, I can handle that. I still have some slight issues with my scar at the moment, where it's taken a bit longer to heal because it's been open twice, and the hole where Derek was is still not quite healed over either. So I'm still currently wearing dressings at the moment on my wounds, and I have some steri strips on some of my big wound as well. But yeah, other than that, I'm home. I'm feeling so much better. I went to see the surgeon on Wednesday afternoon. The stent does need to come out, unfortunately. It can't stay in forever. It only has a 6 months lifespan. Makes me sound like a tin of beans, but it does. So I do have to have another endoscopy. Sorry if you can hear the siren, guys, I've got the window open. To remove the stent. Whether I choose to have that under general anaesthetic or under sedation again is my choice, and I need to think about that. But yeah, it does need to come out, but he did say it is a lot simpler to take it out than putting it in. It is literally a case of just taking it out. So yeah, guys, that's my story. It was very traumatic. Even the gallbladder removal was traumatic. My gallbladder was like this, and I had over 1,000 tiny teeny little stones, and as soon as the surgeons got near it, it just ruptured. So the whole thing has been a big drama from beginning to end, and it's taken its toll on my body. It really has. And I am feeling weak, tired and sore still. I'm really sore today, but I'm okay, and I'm 5 weeks post-op, second op on Sunday. I'm putting this up on Friday, so it will be, I'm still 4 weeks at the moment, and I'm back driving. I drove yesterday for the first time and it was fine. Only short journeys at the moment, but I'm getting back to my normal routine. This morning I've dusted all my bedroom and everything is, you know, I'm just pottering and getting back to doing what I usually do. But yeah, I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling positive about the whole thing. It is what it is. I'm here, and that's all I can keep thinking is I could have died, but I didn't. I'm here, and I truly believe I had someone watching over me, and I do believe that someone is my nan. And it was a very close call for me and my family, but I'm here. So I have so much to be grateful for. It was hard being in hospital for 2 weeks, not seeing me. It was hard on mum and dad, and it was hard on me, but it's over. I've done it. It's done. Hopefully I don't have to do it again. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back to completely my usual routine, but it's gonna, like the surgeon said, it could take up to 6 months for you to get back to completely back to normal, because you've had 2 major surgeries. So, but that's fine. So guys, I'm going to leave it here for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch this video, please give it a thumbs up because it took a lot for me to film this, and please leave a friendly comment down below. And if you were one of the ones that followed my story on Instagram and left me a kind message, or even some of you sent me a beautiful gift, thank you so much. You just don't know how much that means to me, to have you guys there with your kind words and your gift, which you don't need to do, but it's so kind that you did. And just amazing, the support you gave me, you really did get me through, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, I will see you on Monday for another weekly vlog. Have a wonderful weekend, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Lots of love. Bye.